What's up, my friends? It's Captain Trucker. Welcome back to the channel. We have an interesting discussion today, folks. Is this the beginning or the end of our journey on YouTube together? And what is early retirement? And I'm starting to wonder if retirement is just the death of man. I'm just kidding. That's terrible. It's a terrible thing to say. I say that because I've been struggling lately, man, trying to figure out what to talk with everybody next. Because we've been doing this channel now for about 4 years, actually, maybe 3 years active. And, you know, there's a lot of vlogs in the Philippines, obviously, and there's people that talk about different things, relationships, building houses, cultural comparisons, travel vlogs, on and on and on. And truthfully, I actually personally don't watch a lot of vlogs, and maybe I should. But I just don't, because I find that I'm just too wrapped up in my own material like most people. I was having that conversation with, I said, you know, it's not that I don't find people boring. It's not boring. It's just because he was saying, like, you know, sometimes we keep hearing the same topics over and over and over again. And I said, yeah, I mean, for me, it's more if I get myself into other people's material too much, I find that it just, you know, these people will live in my mind and it kind of distracts me and it can indirectly influence me, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, as a, you know, content creator, I try to just kind of stay in my own world because it's where I'm comfortable. But then sometimes you kind of feel, you know, trapped in a way, and that's not the best thing either. And I think we've done about 400 plus videos now, and we've done a lot of cultural comparisons. We've done house building videos. We've done even trucking videos. We've done videos on geo arbitrage, finances, budgets. I don't really talk about relationships too much. I'm not really the relationship guy because for me personally, I just feel uncomfortable like giving other men, you know, advice on their intimate life. I just think that's people's personal business. So yeah, I mean, like, what's next? That's what I've been trying to figure out. And I'm sort of like semi-retired now. And I've been alone at the beach. My family's coming down today. So yeah, I've been kind of sitting here spinning wheels trying to figure it out for you all. Yeah, and I really appreciate like the people over the years that have stuck with me and stuck with the channel, because if anybody's followed my channel for a while, you'll probably have noticed that I have among one of the most maybe volatile channels in the community, meaning like one day I'll be scoring high, whatever, in the numbers, and the next day I just completely flatline or drop. And, you know, it kind of, I'm not sure what that's about, but it kind of coincides with my own personal energy levels, I've noticed. So anyway, it's not always the topics, but yeah, it's weird, man, because I mean, I get it too, because, you know, people, like I said, they criticize vloggers because we keep talking about the same stuff, but at the same time, how do you can't really create that many new topics, right? And there was another vlogger, I've seen 2 or 3 of his videos. I don't know him. I don't know his material that well, but he's that guy that when you turn on, he goes, "Hello, you lovely, lovely people." He seems like a nice guy. He's a cool guy. This British guy. He's got a family. I like it. I like that kind of style channel. But anyway, he did a video talking about, you know, how he might be quitting YouTube or whatever, but then he clarified and said he's not, and he's just going to cut back on, you know, certain types of material or just do farming stuff or whatever. And I could totally relate to what he was talking about because, you know, we've been on a similar amount of times, and he's just like, I don't want to keep beating up a dead horse, mate. I don't want to keep talking about the same thing over and over again. And because it's not fair to the audience either, right? So what is Captain Trucker going to do next? Like, what's the next chapter? You know, because I'm not digging this semi-retirement thing either, to be honest, to be totally. And, you know, this beach is awesome. I love the beach. I love the water. And it's all great. But I'm really thinking about it. And how can a man just sit here and do nothing? I mean, like, is retirement the death of man in a sense? I mean, it's supposed to be this glorious time of, you know, your golden years, or I don't know, to reflect and have fun. But I mean, what do men do in retirement? I mean, men, men need like goals and projects to work on. They need to be doing something. Otherwise, you're going to go into these roads of maybe complacency, or I don't like to use the word depression, but that can certainly happen to some people. And then, you start turning to booze and to pass the time and all that. And, what kind of life is that, right? So what are we going to do, guys? What are we going to do? Yeah, and I attended a couple of funerals recently, which was kind of sad. Nobody I knew. Their change has been in the air, I guess, not to be negative. And I moved into this new house and accomplished that. Took me about 3 years to build that house, maybe 2.5 years. And, that was great. That's all good. And yeah, sometimes after you like accomplish this stuff, you kind of ask it yourself. And, obviously I have a son and I have to be a father and offer guidance and advice and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm still kind of sitting here going, this can't be the end. This can't be all there is. It just can't be. Son, Daddy's been struggling to make videos lately.
Sugar Beach.
Maybe you can take over the channel. Do you want to just run the channel from now on?
Nah.
So
yeah.
Eventually you'll just inherit this channel and take the horns, ride the horse for us, make the topics.
Yeah.
Hug. I missed you.
I missed you. Oh, but let me update you.
How was your trip down here?
Good. I go to a van that has aircon. Well, every van has an aircon.
Yeah.
Hey, let's see the room we're sleeping in.
Okay. Yeah, we're sleeping down here.
Yes. Hi.
How's your school?
Good. Bye.
We've been coming here for a long time. I think I've been taking my son here since he's like 1 years old. You've been coming here since you were a little baby?
Yeah.
You're like this big. I could hold you like a football.
I remember you put me on your back when I was a baby.
You can remember that?
Yeah.
Do you actually remember? You just remember the photo.
Well, I remember you showed me a photo when I forgot it.
Yeah, I showed you the photo, but do you have the actual memory? Can you remember?
Yeah, we were in the beach there, but it was a little bit lower.
Yeah.
And you were carrying me on your back.
But yeah, I guess I'm kind of at that that midlife stage in life, and not having like a midlife crisis. It's not like that, because this just isn't enough for me, and obviously I'm going to have to keep working half the year doing the truck driving thing. That's kind of how it's been going on this channel for a long time, back and forth. But even, the trucking work, it's good for, the lifestyle, flexibility, going back and forth and all that. However, I just feel like I have more to offer the world than, just being a truck driver, right? So I heard somebody say, and I thought about it myself, was like, as far as this channel and, these channels in the future and everything is, I guess if the message is actually helping people, that's a reason to keep going. And there's also the question of, I'm not really sure it's our responsibility as vloggers to continually promote and invite, foreigners to the Philippines, right? Because like, who am I and who is this guy to be like essentially inviting people here, right? To populate a foreign land. And it's kind of, it's a topic that I used to talk about. I used to talk about like what I called like neo-social media colonialism. I coined that hashtag, by the way. Anyway, it's always this balance, right? And I feel like if I did this like real life type of vlog or whatever, I'm not sure what my day-to-day life would be that interesting for people to watch. And also like what value is that bringing people? Like what are we doing here? Like You realize how much people consume social media, Filipinos and Americans? I mean, even you look at these channels, man, like even these small, mid-sized channels like mine and others. I mean, we're still talking about like hundreds of thousands of views and millions of views. I mean, like, I mean, it's mind blowing, you know, even the whole expat Philippines vlogging community. I mean, like, where are all these people coming from, man? And the thing is, it's like they're real, like they're out there. But like a guy like me I'm not in any of these like hot spots, so I'm kind of like, you know, even like Sugar Beach, not a lot of people come here, and you know, the province that I live in, there's not a lot of foreigners, so I don't really get to see or ever really meet that many people necessarily who watch my stuff or other people's stuff. But actually, there was a guy at the resort the other day. He had seen my stuff before, but so I was thinking, you know, maybe I should start hanging out in these other expat hotspots or take trips to like Dumaguete or Angeles City or Cebu, whatever, and got to figure it out. So I guess I'll just keep making videos. I'll keep talking about subjects if they help people, if they inspire anybody, if it can help anybody. There's a lot of people back home, and there's a lot of unhappy people in America. A lot of people feel trapped in their jobs and their careers, and people want to escape, man. They want to go to a foreign, exotic place and start a new life, new adventures. Sometimes I miss playing drums. I used to play drums a lot. I miss my eldest brother. We used to play music together. Thought it'd be fun to like start a band out here. I'm not saying I'm gonna do that, it's just a thought. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know. I guess for now, I'm just gonna enjoy the beach with my family and try to appreciate the little things in life and keep swimming this ocean. I swim this ocean every day. Try to swim for about a mile. Anyway, it's Captain Trucker. I appreciate you all following me and sharing this journey together. Share your thoughts and comments as always. God bless. Bye-bye.